Hello, so in this video I want to talk about changing beliefs, following on from the subconscious beliefs video that I did a while back. Really going back to the law and the law of consciousness, that everything is within and the external is really a reflection of our beliefs and what we're holding in our consciousness. So the premise is that we can have all that we desire, but what's playing out in our reality is a subconscious belief that we're identifying with. What we're saying I am to, what we're believing about ourselves in relation to this experience. So something's happening in our world, but it's what we're saying within ourselves in relation to it. Particularly the meaning, what meaning we're making, because we're always creating the meaning of a situation. And this plays out in our external reality. So we can go back to consciousness as the cause. And I wanted to share some examples of how this may play out in terms of a belief change. So we might have some generalized beliefs like nothing works out. We can change that to an auto-suggestion, everything works out for me. We can create this as an affirmation. We can do self-talk. So when we catch ourselves thinking this, we can counteract it with another thought, speaking to ourselves, our inner speech. We can use scripting, we can use visualization, and we can also focus on the feeling of what would it feel like for everything to work out for you. It's hard to find like-minded people. You can start saying to yourself, everywhere I go, like-minded people show up. Or whatever belief it is, you can honour that feeling and go where you believe that like-minded people will show up. You might say life is hard. That might be a belief that you've attached to for quite a long time, but all our beliefs can be changed in the now. And we can say to ourselves, every day I get into a deeper flow and ease. Things become easier and easier for me every single day. This is a similar one. Things are a struggle. You can say everything I want comes to me easily. So you might want to do an affirmation tape of all of these kinds of beliefs to effectively program, this is not your fault if your subconscious mind is attaching to this side of things, but it's not helpful necessarily for you. And no doubt it might be causing a lot of suffering. So by changing our beliefs and reorientating it towards a positive, then our subconscious mind attaches to those beliefs and we start to see it playing out in our reality. If we believe everything works out for us, everywhere we go, like-minded people show up, we kind of get into the flow and ease naturally, and everything you want comes to you easily, your reality is going to be very, very different than somebody who has these beliefs and entertains them. So you might subconsciously feel like I can't have what I want. And you can say, I always get what I want, or I always make the right decisions, or I always know what to choose. I always follow my intuition. That might be a good one. This rejection means I'm not good enough. Rejection is fine and is redirection. So it's the meaning that we're attaching. So the event itself is neutral. There's something that happens. How do we interpret it? What meaning do we attach to it? Excuse me. And there's more here. I need to have this in order to feel better. Now, if the external is a reflection of our consciousness, then actually we have everything inside. We are whole and complete now. We actually don't need anything. We could also say, I lack nothing. Everything is within me. I possess infinity within. That's a good one. Maybe it's a behaviour or a habit. Your belief is, I can't stop doing this behaviour, or I can't stop thinking this way, or I can't stop feeling this way. You can say, I am in control of myself and I have no desire to do it. If you genuinely want to release that belief. You might be thinking about something and the beliefs running in your mind, like, I am not confident in this situation. And then we can go to like meta beliefs, which if we work on the meta belief, then that changes the belief in general. Because if we look at that belief, I'm not confident in this situation, there might be like an underlying fear. Napoleon Hill talks about the 6 basic, I think it's the 6 or 7 basic fears. Fear of rejection, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death. And a lot of our beliefs, a lot of our negative beliefs come from these fears. So maybe the fear is I'll be judged. And that's obviously like rejection, the rejection fear. So we work on this and we say everyone accepts me wherever I go. We're not giving in to the fear. We're choosing a more loving perspective. Everyone accepts me wherever I go. Or even if that feels too big of a leap, you can say each and every day more and more people accept me. I find that wherever I go, more and more people accept me as I am. And you can do things like put these into the Parrot app, which you can record your own auto suggestions. You can start scripting, writing this down every day, listening to it, visualizing it, creating imaginal scenes, living from the end in all of these beliefs. So what would it feel like for everyone to accept you wherever you go? Or what would it feel like if you walked into a room and more and more people were accepting you each and every day? They don't like me. That might be a belief that comes up from a situation. I remember back in Toastmasters many years ago, when I used to do a speech, I would look out into the crowd and somebody might have been looking down or bored or shuffling in their seat, and I used to feel they don't like me. And then that would affect my performance and affect how I felt about myself. And my beliefs started to play out in my reality. Even though I did well, I was still filled with a lot of anxiety. And underneath that, maybe that was a rejection, the fear of rejection again. People always leave my life. That might be a meta belief underneath something like this. You can even say, I don't need external validation or approval. Or you could even create a suggestion, I approve of myself, I accept myself, my opinion of myself is the most important. I trust myself. Something like that. Hope this helps.